Get me out of here. I got shit to do.
Remove the child. It's bedtime. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Coming to you live from the new house. As you can see, there's no green screen set up behind me. I am raw, bare bones. I have a bar of soap, a toothbrush, toothpaste, then a bunch of boxes that I haven't had a chance to open yet. Just got the computer set up so we can roll. I have not lost an NFL bet since I moved into this house. Went 2-0-1 last night in the 3 games. So I haven't lost a bet since I moved into this house. So I'm sweeping the board today. Pretty confident I'm going to sweep the board today. 11-0 against the spread. That's a joke. Don't parlay everything I say, please, for the love of God. Prop Beaver coming in ice cold off the NBA. He blames... he's saying it's his new profile picture on Twitter. That's the reason. And he's dead serious. He's not being funny. He's actually saying that's the reason he's been losing bets.
It's either that or the Discord channel that I made for myself. I got too big of a head. It's cost me.
Oh, so yeah. You got too big for your britches. You're not ready for your own channel in the Discord yet. So let's get it started. Let's run the intro.
Welcome to the source. The source. Hey, get the source.
All right, first game, Chicago at Cleveland. Toast, can I get a weather report here? Because I was originally thinking rain, but now I'm hearing that the rain might clear up. Can you check that for me?
No, it's mine says definite showers. 99%.
Definite rain? Okay, yeah. So I all week I was hearing rain. Prop Beavers, I know there's 2.5s, but I think the consensus line is still at 3, correct?
Matter of fact, mine says definite rain showers, not just rain.
Does it say? I thought I saw something saying it might stop by like 2-3 p.m. But even then, the field will be wet.
Hour by hour up, but yeah.
Yeah, consensus is at 3 on action, but yeah, you could get 2.5s, you could get 3s. Totals consensus 37.
37. Under 37. All right, Prop Beaver, you have the floor. You by the way, he's only been cold in NBA. He had a winning NFL night. It's the NBA that's got him all down to the dumps.
It was a good NFL night. I mean, I'm not going to go into the NBA, but just anomaly after anomaly. I can't even explain it. I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone. For this game, I took Jerome Ford over 15.5 receiving yards. It's up to 17.5 now, but I'm still fine with that based on his hit rates this season. Flacco's and running backs are a pair made in heaven, and then add the fact that the Bears against running backs through the air are a pair made in heaven, and I really like Ford in the spot to get going through the air. The running back position in Flacco's 6 starts since 2022, 78 yards, 41 yards, 56 yards, 14 yards, 33 yards, and 34 yards through the air. 6+ receptions in 4 of those games. The Bears allow the most receiving yards per game, the 4th most targets per game, and sit 29th in DVOA against running backs. And Ford has 9 targets in his last 2 games. Assuming he just gets 3 targets here, he's in a pretty great spot. With 3+ targets this season, he's 7-2 to the over, averaging 24 yards per game. And with 3+ targets against the Bears this season, opposing running backs are 15-4 to the over, averaging 31.9 yards per game. There's bad weather here too, so that should probably decrease Joe Flacco's ADOT. Adding the fact that Montez Sweat and that pass rush for the Bears is really starting to get going, and the immobile Flacco is going to look to dump it off a bit here. Added the fact that the Bears have made it literally hell to run on them, and I think that this is the best way to get one of their better playmakers going.
I don't mind that. Let's swing it over to Andrew. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this one was like the closest game for me when I was looking at it, because I can't trust Joe Flacco yet. Like he had a good one game here that last week against the Jaguars, a team that I had been seeing get a little bit beaten up in the past game. But in this one, I don't trust him. Even against a bad pass defense, not trusting him. In the rain, I'm asking for who's going to run the ball better. I think the Bears will run the ball better there with Fields. So I actually have them +3 in this one. Yeah, I really like Chicago here today.
Cool. I am with you on that. Definitely, it's shaping up to be a little bit of a public dog. There were 3.5s available. They got bought up down to 3. Like I said, there are 2.5s out there. This is not really a bet on Justin Fields. I know that he's shown us he can play in bad weather, but it's not really a bet on Justin Fields. It's just a bet on the Bears defense, which has been really good. I mean, this defense has been awesome. If you look at the last 5 weeks, I mean, dating back to before Justin Fields even came back, Chicago's defense has really only had one bad performance. And we're talking about 5, even 6 games. If you look back, I'm going to open up their schedule right now because I didn't write down the specifics. But just that one game on the road in Detroit, a spot where every defense in the NFL struggles. No one can stop that offense in Detroit. We're talking about holding the Vikings to 10 points, holding the Lions to 13 points last week, holding the Panthers to 13, then the Lions game's in there. The Saints, they held to 300 total yards. Look, this Browns offense, I know Joe Flacco came in, put up some highlights, and everyone's like, Flacco could still play. This offense isn't good, man. In the last 3 weeks, so look at this. The last 3 weeks, the Browns have played, let's pull up the teams, the Jags, the Rams, and the Broncos. What the hell is that? Oh, it's the ESPN. The audio plays in my ear. So the last 3 weeks, they played the Jags, the Rams, and the Broncos. Jags and Rams, not defenses that scare you. Broncos defense is okay. In those 3 games, the Cleveland Browns offense, 5.8 yards per pass attempt. That's 31st in the NFL. 3.7 yards per carry. That's 24th in the NFL. This offense is not efficient. I know Flacco put up some highlights. I know they put up a nice number on the scoreboard, but this offense hasn't been good. This is a straight fade of the Browns offense. If this was a pick'em, I could probably get there with you on Cleveland. But at a full +3 in a bad weather game, you got to take Chicago. I think the public's got this one right. If you got in early at Chicago +3.5, I think you're holding a lot of value. Also, look, it's raining, so these numbers probably not very relevant. Justin Fields, surprisingly good throwing the ball against man coverage. Cleveland runs a lot of man. Also, he's been solid under pressure and solid against the blitz this year. You would think Justin Fields probably doesn't have the best passing numbers. When pressured and when blitzed, he's like 14th, 16th, 14th, like right in the middle of the pack. So Justin Fields has handled pressure pretty well. But like I said, not even a bet on Justin Fields, just a fade of the Browns offense getting a full 3 in bad weather. That's where I'm going with it. Toast.
Yeah, this is a pure pass for me. I understand everybody liking the Bears and what you guys said, but I really wanted to get to Cleveland because I personally think that even if we're getting like Joe Flacco, like average Joe Flacco, not what we saw last week, even a little bit worse than that, I still think that's better than what Deshaun Watson or other guys that we've seen play quarterback for Cleveland this year has done. So I don't really think it's that big of a deal. It's everybody else like Willis, Conklin, Dayward Jones, Nick Chubb, everybody else that they're dealing with is why I'm really having a hard time getting to Cleveland. So it's a pass with me. I'm starting to see 2.5s pop up on FanDuel and whatnot. So if it gets down to like maybe like an even 2, maybe I jump in. But yeah, it's a pass for me though.
Our poll pretty much split even. Looks like 44% of our viewers said they're down to take the 3 with Chicago. 41% said they would lay the 2.5 with Cleveland. So Chicago does win the poll, but it's close. So, I mean, I think overall Chicago's probably a pretty public dog, but now that there's 2.5s popping up, I would imagine the public's going to be kind of split on this one. Next game. Whoa, where's my face? There I am. All right, Falcons on the road in Carolina. Let's clear the board here. All right,
Another definite rain game, 51 degrees, 94% definite rain, 14-mile-an-hour winds out of the northwest.
Rainy and windy.
This is supposed to be the worst weather on the slate. It's supposed to be like what I read is that it's supposed to be pouring the entire game.
Wow, pouring the entire game. Consensus total was at 33.
Consensus total is at 32.5 now, and it's in between this spread. It's 2.5 on some books, 3 on some books. Looks like it's about to move to 2.
Yeah, it's dropping. It's dropping. Definitely Sharps hammering up. They bought up those Carolina +3.5s, buying up the 3s too. All right, Prop Beaver, you have anything in this nasty ass game?
Yeah, I actually have 2 bets. First one, I'm going with Desmond Ridder under passing yards. I got it at 184.5. It moved down 10 yards, so I'd probably bump this down to 0.75 units. But I still like it. Just simply put, the weather is supposed to be nightmarish. Heavy winds, constant pouring rain. Facing a Carolina team who has held 12 of 13 quarterbacks they faced this season under their passing yards total. He's coming off a career high at home against a trash-ass Tampa defense, so it's the perfect sell high spot. Carolina at home allows the second fewest yards per game, 156. The second fewest yards per completion, fourth fewest yards per attempt at 5.3, and third fewest pass attempts per game. Ritter, as we know by now, light years better at home. And when he faced Carolina earlier this season, he still managed just 115 yards against them at home.
And all their secondary was out.
No, I think week 1, I think J.C. Horn and Chin were healthy.
Oh, that was week 1, right?
Was week 1.
Okay,
so,
right.
So, I mean, it just proves, like, hey, they're healthy now, though. So, on the road, in a monsoon, I especially expect him to struggle with the Carolina pass D back at full strength. His attempt line was at 27.5 and 26.5, both juiced to the under. With 28 or less attempts since 2022, he's 5-1 to the under, averaging just 153 yards per game. I expect a ridiculous amount of rushing by both sides and the clock to constantly be running. We're getting a low line We're getting a heinously low line off an excellent performance. Seems like the perfect time to fade here. And then the other one that I have for this game, and I was pretty happy with how our tackle and assist props went yesterday. I'm backing my boy Frankie Louvu. I backed him twice this year. He was money both times at home. And I love backing him at home because on the road, he just stinks. He's gone under 3 straight times on the road, but now he's at home where he's been a different beast, cashing 4 or 5 this season, cashed the last 8 of 11 going back to 2022. And I think we're getting a bit of a discount because he only had 5 against Atlanta in the season opener. But in the season opener, Shaq Thompson was healthy. Now that Shaq Thompson's out, that's a great sign for him because he, even with Shaq Thompson last year at home against Atlanta, had 12 tackles plus assists, way over our line here. An off-ball linebacker has hit 8+ tackles plus assists in 10 straight against Atlanta. And Louvu essentially has 0 competition for these tackles and assists. It's going to be a gross game. We're going to see a shit ton of runs. I trust that Louvu bounces back and gets the job done here.
I'll go next. I am not one of my bigger bets of the day, but I am on those pesky Carolina Panthers here. I already took it. At 3. Wish I had it at 3.5 earlier in the week, but I was in the process of moving. I didn't get on any lines early this week. So, obviously, there's the obvious. It's a division game, getting a full 3 at home. There's no first-round pick for the Panthers. They have no motivation to lose. You got the Falcons on the road, whereas Prop Beaver mentioned, they're not nearly as good. Falcons' offensive line is also banged up. They're missing a tackle, and 3 other of their starters are questionable. So of the 5 starting offensive linemen for the Falcons, they're missing a tackle, and 3 are questionable. So definitely not 100% on the offensive line for the Falcons. As we know, as Prop Beaver just said, Panthers, this defense just steps up at home. And we have forgotten about it because they've played 3 straight games on the road. So the value is probably at a nice buy spot because people have forgotten that this Panthers defense plays home because they haven't played at home. It's been almost a full month since the Panthers have played a home game, and their last home game was against Dallas, an offense that just is going to give you problems. And by the way, in that Dallas game, they were catching 10.5. Score was 17-10 in the fourth quarter. And then Dallas did their Dallas shit. I think Deron Bland had a pick 6, and then like Dallas can run away with the game really quickly the way they score on defense and special teams. But if you just look at the Panthers games, I mean, they're 2-3 against the spread in their last 5. You would think they're just getting murdered. They're not. They're 2-3 against the spread in their last 5. Last week against New Orleans, 28-6. That's a terrible look, right? Oh, they got beat. You want to know how many yards the Saints had in that game? Guess. How many yards do you think the Saints had in that game? 28-6, they won. The answer, 207. They had 207 yards of offense in that 28-6 win. This defense is good, and that was on the road. Before that, they covered against the Bucs. Before that, they lost 17-10 on the road in Tennessee. They were catching 3.5 points. They had the ball in Titans territory, driving at the end of the game to tie it and send it to overtime. I know that because I was sweating Tennessee minus 3.5 like hard at the end of that game. Before that, Dallas. Before that, they covered against the Bears. This Panthers team has been in games. I don't expect the Falcons offense to be able to do shit in this game. In bad weather against a really undervalued Panthers defense. Now, do I trust Bryce Young and the Panthers offense to make plays here? Not at all. I don't trust that offense at all. But this should be a low-scoring, ugly game where having a full 3 just should come in handy. Panthers ran the ball for 5.2 yards per carry last week against the Saints, which is considered a decent run defense. Supposed to be good, just a little underperforming this year. I think it's a coin flip. It's a coin flip, low-scoring, ugly game. Panthers could win. So give me the 3. Like I said, not one of my favorite bets of the day. Andrew,
Yeah, I like what you said, coin flip. That's exactly how I felt about this. And when it comes to Falcons games, I ranted about it a few weeks ago. I said I was never going to bet on the Falcons again. I did it last week, and I regretted it completely, pretty much from the beginning of the game. It was a close game the whole time. I thought they would win that game pretty comfortably against Tampa. Yeah, this week I got to go with Carolina just because I'm not backing Atlanta anymore. Like, it's not happening. I don't think Carolina will do much on offense. I don't think either team will. I think the under would be a safe play in this one, too. I think this is like a 10-7 type game and nobody's going to do much. Like, yeah, I think Carolina's going to win this one, too.
And, the Falcons this year have been, or at least earlier in the season, they were just the kings of the 1 or 2 point win.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, even when I bet the Falcons as a short favorite, I always just take the money line because they just always seem to win by 1 or 2. But in this game, field goals might be tough, so I don't know how exactly that'll work. We'll see. Toast, are you passing again because you're a coward?
Yeah, absolutely. Only because I really wanted to bet the Falcons, but it's hard to bet Ritter on the road. I just don't think that the Panthers are trying to win football games, so that's really hard for me to bet my money on them. And then I really wanted to bet, like, I know this sounds gross, but Kyle Pitts, he's had a lot of targets, like 14 targets the last 2 weeks. But I don't want to play him because of the rain and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm a coward. It is what it is.
The comments are getting pissed that I started off with the picks of Bears +3 and Panthers +3. Want to let you guys know that this NFL week has started with 4 square favorites winning. Dogs are coming out today. Dogs are coming out. Public's going to get cleaned out today. So if you're usually someone who likes to side with the public, you've done well this year. Public's done fine. Squares have done fine this year. But this might not be your day. Let's move. Oh, first off, poll. 50%. It's actually not overwhelming on Atlanta. 50% of our viewers said they're laying the 2.5 points with the Falcons. 31% said they're taking the 3 with Carolina. Next.
Hey, Kyle, speaking of public sides, did you know public sides 51% or more, 108, 86, and 6 this season? That's the best in the 14 weeks we've ever seen in the NFL.
Yeah.
Great.
I think a lot of it is there's
Public has been cashing like a mofo.
I think a lot of it is there's just the lines are just different this year because there's so many people taking in betting content now that, like, last year Panthers be catching 4.5, 5, or maybe like 2-3 years ago Panthers be catching 4.5, 5. But there's so many people out there that play the sharp side, giving it out on YouTube, tweeting it out, that all of a sudden the sharp side is catching a lot of money, and that shit's moving. So I think the market's just a little different. But
well, yeah, keep in mind too that what that does to the teasers prices were 20 cents cheaper with better lines. I mean, it was a much better year or times.
A little more challenging, but it's still fun. All right, so how's the weather in Miami, Toast?
Miami weather. Let me pull that up really quick. Miami, chance of thunderstorms, 77 degrees, but 23-mile-an-hour winds.
23?
That's in bold red.
Wow.
It's in bold red. You don't see a lot of bold and red.
23. Okay. Prop Beaver, is this down to 8 now? Does my eyes deceive me?
MGM and PointsBet have it at 7.5. Caesars, DraftKings, Bet365, ESPN have it at 8, and Fatal has it at 8.5.
I actually got some CLV on this one because I grabbed the Jets last night at 8.5. Total is down to 36.5, right?
It's at 37 consensus.
37.
Beaver, what did you say the Bet MGM line was?
It was at 7.5.
Okay, because it's showing 9.5 on action. That's why I was making sure. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, Prop Beaver, are you backing your Jets? He's a diehard Jets fan, bleeds everything Jets, just loves Jets football.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shtick always hits. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to take the points with the Jets here. I'm not really in love with the matchup for them on paper, but Tyreek Hill is banged up as it is. If there's anybody that has the pass defense to stop what the Dolphins do, it's my boy Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed on the outside. I'm a little worried about them stuffing the run game, especially with A-Chain healthy, but I just feel like 8.5 points is too many. In what I expect to be a pretty low-scoring game. Tua just looked off last week. If Tyreek Hill takes any snaps off in this game, he's like just not that great of a quarterback.
Is he definitely playing?
They're optimistic he's going to go, but I mean, realistically, like I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, they're in a pretty good spot in terms of the playoffs. I pretty much have sealed the division. I don't really understand.
He didn't practice all week.
Yeah, so I mean, even if he goes, just not in a great spot in terms of health. We have the guys to clamp him. And then in terms of the Jets, I mean, our offense is fucking terrible. But Zach Wilson coming off his best game of the season, maybe that's what he needed to light a fire under his ass. I've said that probably a million times before, and then he sucks the very next game. But as long as the Jets are smart and don't put Garrett Wilson on Jalen Ramsey's side of the field, Jalen Ramsey only sticks to one side, then he's going to be able to cook Xavier Howard just like DeAndre Hopkins did last week. And we saw how Tyjae Spears was able to move the ball through the air as a running back against them. I think Breece Hall could do the same. So, yeah, I just think in a game that could be more of a field goal battle than touchdowns, I'll take the 8.5 points of the Jets.
Yeah. Let's swing it over to Andrew.
We saw this game obviously on Black Friday they played, and it was Tim Boyle or Boyle right at that time. And if you look at the score, obviously it looks like they dominated them, but a lot of things happened in that game that kind of went the wrong way for the Jets. The 99-yard interception touchdown. The end of the game, the Dolphins kept trying to score. They really didn't need to. They scored, I think, an extra touchdown, so it would have been a little bit closer. And now you have Zach Wilson. Maybe that did light a fire under him. That was my same thought. He knows Aaron Rodgers is waiting in the wings. If they win this game, Rodgers is probably starting next week. That's what I've heard. So it's a game where Wilson's gonna have a lot of people saying you've got to play really well. This has to be a win. I think the Jets will come out well. I don't think they win the game, but I do think they cover. I don't think it'll be a field goal game though, because if you're saying 23 mile per hour winds, that's gonna be tough for field goals in this one. So it seems like a lot of teams might have to punt a lot, maybe when they don't want to, go for fourth downs they don't want to. So I think the score will be a little bit lower in this one.
So would you rather take under or Jets?
No, I'm going to take the Jets, but if I leaned on the over-under, I'd probably go the under as well. So.
What about Toast? What are you doing?
I played the Jets with you last night. Couple reasons why. You have that Bills bet to win the AFC East that I tailed as well, and so hopefully we can get a Miami loss here as well, which would help that bet. But yeah, like they both said, they're not the same. The Dolphins aren't the same team with Tyreek Hill, and then the Dolphins also lost their center Connor Williams on Monday, and so now you're going to have Quentin Williams on top of some Eichenberg kid. Who knows what's going to happen there? That's a major downgrade for the Dolphins. Yeah, I'm all over the Jets today. So
yeah. I am on the Jets, but not all over them. In fact, this is my second of all 11 games. This is my second least favorite pick against the spread. The first is 49ers minus 12. I'm on 49ers, but it's my least favorite of the day. This would be my second least favorite. Combination of fading the Dolphins in a they're banged up right now. And I know everyone's talking about Tyreek Hill. I guess it looks like he might play, but he hasn't practiced all week. Certainly not 100%. They're missing a starter of the offensive line, 3 more questionable. They're really banged up on the offensive line. And if we're talking about a windy day where Tyreek Hill is not himself or not out there, Miami's really going to want to get the run game going. And you're going to want a healthy offensive line to do that against this Jets defense. And that just really isn't there for him today. By the way, bunch of injuries on the Dolphins defense as well. Linebackers out. Xavier Howard may not play. They're missing a safety. Dolphins are really banged up. Like, they just need to get this win and get out of here and move on to the next game, because this is just a bad spot for them. And by the way, Miami Dolphins, you want to know the last time they covered a spread at home? Let's go to the board here. The answer is week 8 against New England. They won 31-17. Week 8. It's week 15. Damn near 2 months ago since the Miami Dolphins covered a number at home. Yeah, I mean, there's only been technically only 2 opportunities in there because the third one was overseas. But still, Miami hasn't been that good at home.
And Tennessee and Las Vegas are absolutely terrible as well.
Yeah, the Titans on the road are one of the worst teams in the NFL. The Raiders covered against the Dolphins here. That's the last 2 home games. They didn't cover against either of them. We're talking about a division game. And look, I'm not going to say that stupid shit that they said. There's a fire lit under Zach Wilson. I'm not saying anything like that. But I will say that I think as far as the Jets offense goes, like your Garrett Wilsons, your Breece Halls, I think those guys right now have it in their head that this guy, Zach Wilson, gives us the best chance to win right now. I don't think that was the case a month ago, but I think they know they saw Boyle, right? And I think they know, like, okay, this is our guy. This is our best chance to win right now. So I think there might be an overall little more confidence surrounding the Jets offense right now. Certainly he played pretty well last week. So, like I said, not a pick I really love, but I definitely wouldn't lay 8 points with a Dolphins team that hasn't covered a spread. I mean, can't even cover spreads against bad teams at home. So, wow, the Jets win the poll. Holy shit. 47% of our viewers said they're taking the 8 with the Jets. That's surprising. 37% said they would lay the 8. 9% over. Someone said, someone said, watch the Dolphins just beat them by 40 points. Yeah, that is a possibility, which is why.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is why it's my second least favorite pick on the board.
That's Jets football.
Welcome to Jets football. All right, we are now on to Texans at Titans. Is this line still at 3?
1 second. Why do you ask Toast for the weather? I'm getting the market report up.
My bad.
What, do you just don't
It's
care about
clear.
the weather
It's
anymore?
50, it's 53. I assumed that he knew. Yeah, it's just 53 and clear. Nothing to
Because
worry
the weather's
about.
fine. Shut the fuck up.
Nah, me. If you just don't care about the weather, just fucking say.
Can I get the consensus line? There's people waiting.
I believe it's at 3. Well, it's at 3 and 3.5. I don't know. It's all
So
over
there are
the place.
3.5s
3 and
out there.
3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, and then at 38.
38. All right, Prop Beaver. Are you going to pass?
Why would I pass? I haven't passed in the game before. All right. So the entire country, the Eastern Seaboard is on Derrick Henry here. Don't blame them. Great history against the team. Yada, yada, yada. Missing a few key pieces. I like a different guy to go off. Give me the grudge match in a smash spot against his old team with DeAndre Hopkins. I'm taking his over 58.5 receiving yards. He's 5-2 to this number with Levis. He's averaging 74.6 yards per game. And he has 12 targets in each of his last 2 games. Houston, despite being coached by the defensive-minded DeMeco Ryans, has been getting absolutely torched by wide receivers over their last 9 games, allowing 13 different receivers to hit 59-plus yards, and 5 of those guys did it on 4 or less receptions. The opposing wide receiver 1 has cashed their receiving yards total against Houston in 8 of their last 9 games, averaging 83 yards per game. And during that span, Houston is allowing a league worst 15.5 yards per reception to wide receiver position. What I really like about this matchup for Hopkins here is that Houston's one of the more zone-heavy defenses in the NFL. With Levis against man, he's only averaging 8.5 yards per reception, 0.92 yards per route run. Very, very mediocre. But against zone, he is lighting people up for 19.5 yards per reception, 3.2 yards per out run. One of the most efficient receivers in the NFL against zone during that time period. Reception total is at 4.5, juiced a bit to the over. With just 4+ receptions this season, D-Hop is 8-1, averaging 84 yards per game. I think that with Will Anderson out, the Houston pass rush takes a big hit there. And Levis is light years better when he's kept clean. When he has time to sit in the pocket, he's going to find DeAndre Hopkins for some big plays. I just think that with a few key guys out on the defensive line in terms of the linebackers and Henry's history against Houston, DeMeco Ryans is going to be drilling in these guys' brains. We need to stop the run. We need to stop the run. We need to make Levis beat us. And I think this is the best way to bet this game. So I'm going with Hopkins over 50.5. Also think for some strange reason that Houston could keep this sneaky competitive. Case Keenum's that guy.
Yeah, hell yeah, they can. Houston's winning this game. I mean, the Titans are trash. But all right, so everyone's talking about C.J. Stroud not being in there. Obviously, huge loss. Why is nobody talking about the Titans' defense? Have you guys seen this defense? First of all, it's one of the worst defenses in the NFL. But Jeffrey Simmons, out. Tart, the nose tackle, out. Christian Fulton, out. Audrey, their best pass rusher, he didn't practice on Friday. So neither did Al Shire, their best linebacker. Is that not the 5 best players in the Titans' defense? That's the 5 best players in the Titans' defense. 3 of them out. 2 of them didn't practice Friday. How is nobody talking about that? Everyone's wondering why this line is staying so low without C.J. Stroud. That's why. Because the worst defense in the NFL, or bottom 5, let's say, is missing 3 of its best 5 players and maybe all 5 of them. This defense is terrible. And, I mean, Case Keenum has been in the league for 11 years. He's won playoff games. He can spin it, man. And I'm not trying to make a case for the Texans offense here, but this might be the worst defense Case Keenum has seen in his 11-year career. I mean, this defense is terrible, and they're missing everybody. I would also look over here at 37. I don't know who's making stops. And look, if it comes down to it, the Texans have been better than the Titans, obviously. Texans are playing for their season. They're playing to stay alive in the playoff race. The Titans aren't playing for shit. That we're talking about Will Levis versus Case Keenum. Right, obviously, Will Levis has a higher ceiling. He's a rookie. possibly a bright future. But right now, to win a football game right now, are you really going to stand on the hill and be like, Will Levis definitely better than Case Keenum? I don't know about that. We're talking about a guy who's an 11-year veteran that's won playoff games before. I don't know if I would take Levis over Case Keenum right now. Case Keenum should have a big day throwing the ball. I'd look at Case Keenum's overs, passing. Look, you got Houston playing to keep their season alive, coming off an embarrassing loss to the Jets. I like it. I think they win, and I'd also take the over here.
Breaking news, Tyreek Hill is out.
That's what I thought, but you were like, I think he's going to play. And I was like,
Well, yeah, dickhead, there were fucking reports that he was gonna.
I read through the lines, man. Based on what I read, I came to the
he was
conclusion.
questionable at 6:30 this morning.
Yeah, well, he didn't practice all week. It was just a weird. I didn't think he was going to play. Andrew.
I'm with you. I don't agree with the team you picked. I think the Titans are going to win the game, and I think there's going to be a lot of points scored. I trust the younger, more explosive offense of, I guess younger quarterback, of Tennessee over Case Keenum in a shootout. I know the defenses aren't going to get stops. I think the Titans will outscore them. I think Levis younger has Hopkins. I think he's a much better player than Case Keenum now, so I think they'll outshoot out them here.
This graphic is wrong. Probably messed up. It's supposed to say Tennessee -3. It says Tennessee plus 3.5. All right, let's bring up Toast.
I'll shoot at them.
What are you doing, Toast?
Yeah, I'm with you, Sauce. Couldn't say this. 3.5. I took the money line at plus 150 as well with the Texans. I mean, these guys are still in a playoff race. It's not like Case Keenum doesn't know what he's doing. I think that your point about him and Will Levis being comparable is a very valid one. My uncle was all over that defense this week. He kept on pounding that into my head. So, yeah, I'm taking Houston, and I'm taking the plus 150 on the money line at FanDuel.
It's just the quarterbacks. Everyone's talking about C.J. Stroud being out. Why is no one talking about the Titans defense missing their entire team? Their entire team is out. It's crazy. All right, so yeah, as expected, everyone's flooding in on Tennessee, but this line, the books are still holding this shit at 3. Yeah, Houston's gonna win. 54% of the money coming in on the Titans, 31% on the Texans. Next, Giants at Saints. All right,
this is a heater.
This one sucks. 5.5, or is it down to 5 now?
Let me check real quick because the Olave injury 5.5.
Someone just said Tyreek Hill is not officially out.
I mean,
Ian Rappaport just tweeted it. I think I trust him.
I trust him over
so
Matt Wildy in the comments. Guys, Matt Wildy in the comments says he's not out. So
yeah,
if he plays though, you got to follow him.
Yeah, that's true.
True. A-Chain is active though, so I trust them.
Total 39.5 still.
Yeah, the total in the ball game is 39.5.
Total in the ball game.
Yeah, in the ball game today, game that's being played.
Proppy, are you a believer in what's his name? Cutlets? Tommy Cutlets?
Let's fucking go, baby.
You're an Italian from New Jersey.
Give me the Giants plus 5.5. It's not like I say this with great pride, but like, dude, this Saints team was
they're so bad.
The only reason they won last week is because Bryce Young completed 33% of his passes.
They had 207 yards. 207 yards.
Unimaginably piss. So I just like Tommy DeVito, for some reason, this team is getting around him. They're playing well, even when he's making errant throws. You got Wan'Dale Robinson like making leaping catches on the outside, a slot receiver. So like, I don't know. The Giants are just playing hard for this dude right now, and the Saints essentially hate Derek Carr. I mean, nobody wants to play with this guy. His center was barking in his face last week about to fight him. So like, it's just like the Giants have such a better team chemistry right now. They have such a more momentum going into this game, and now you don't have Olave, you don't have Michael Thomas. Shaheed is really only a deep threat. So like, your wide receiver room is pissed. Alvin Kamara, yeah, he could run the ball. The Giants defense is much worse on the road. I must admit that. But at the same time, I mean, the Saints offense finds new ways to fuck up every single week. I mean, this team truly sucks. So with the pressure that the Giants bring, I think they could get home a few times today. And then on top of that, you got Darren Waller returning. They've been getting lit up by tight ends lately. Wan'Dale Robinson's in the slot, obviously, who's been Tommy's favorite target the past few weeks. Saints allow the most yards per game to slot receivers. So I think they could get that going. And then the one last thing I want to mention is the fact that they allow the most rushing yards to QBs. Did you see Tommy's wheels last week? Buddy was running his ass off. I couldn't get to over 30.5. That felt a bit inflated.
He's running for 75, bro. He's running for 75 with Tutty.
I think he's going to be able to get those wheels going today, and I think he keeps it close enough. I mean, unless they turn the ball over an egregious amount of times, they should be able to keep it close, keep it within a field goal.
Giants, not one of my top bets or anything, but yeah, and he pretty much said everything that I had planned on saying. Look what happened last week. Carolina ran the ball 39 times for 204 yards on this Saints defense. It's 5.2 yards per carry. Bryce Young got involved using his legs. Tell me that's not exactly what you want to see if you're the Giants heading into this game, because they're going to hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley probably a shitload of times. You're going to see Tommy DeVito running the ball as well. And the Giants defense, I think I saw it on Instagram. Dexter Lawrence, the highest rated defensive player in the NFL this year on PFF. Yeah, the Giants defense is real. And the Saints, I mean, you just can't trust this team. I think Marshawn Lattimore is such an important piece of that defense because they run so much man coverage. And he is their guy. It's like they run man coverage not almost every play, but they run an insane amount of man coverage, and they put Marshawn Lattimore on the guy they want to remove from that play. So wherever Lattimore is, like, all right, we're taking this guy out of this play. And losing him just really kicks Dennis Allen in the nuts as far as flexibility and what he's able to do with that defense. As you can see, they're getting run on now, something that years past you haven't been able to run the ball in the Saints defense. But no Marshawn Lattimore. I think Marcus May is still out as well. Saints defense isn't the same, and that was really the only reason to bet this Saints team. Derek Carr, as you know, terrible in the red zone. So even if the Saints are able to move the ball up and down the field on this Giants defense, which that's a big if, they were held to 207 total yards of offense against the Panthers last week at home. So I don't even know if they're able to move the ball in the Giants defense. But even if they are, history has shown us Derek Carr will throw an interception or fumble it or be held to a field goal in the red zone. I saw something we were talking about on the Discord. I believe Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in NFL history since they started recording passer rating stats in the red zone. Like, he's that bad. When he gets into the red zone, he is truly awful. So yeah, at 5.5, got to play the G-men here. Andrew?
Yeah, throughout the beginning of the week, before I really got to look at this game, I was on the Saints heavy because I liked the spot. I liked the Giants coming off an upset win at home, and then flying out to New Orleans to play this game with all that energy. I thought it was a good letdown spot. Then I looked at the game, and there's just nothing about the Saints that tells me that they're going to do anything to win this game. I got to take the Giants just because, I mean, I thought maybe Tommy DeVito would turn the ball over. He hasn't done that in 2 weeks, and the Saints haven't gotten a turnover in 2 weeks. So I didn't see any way where he was going to turn the ball over and make mistakes. They don't let him do that. So I think the Giants are going to be able to run the ball a lot. He was able to run the ball a lot. I think the Giants will just control the game, and it'll be a win for them. I think they'll win the game outright, and plus 5.5, a high number too. Yeah, I had to go with the Giants. I wanted to go with the Saints. I just couldn't.
Win the game outright is a ballsy call. That's a ballsy call.
It's undefeated.
I mean, Toast.
2 plays. Barkley over 16.5 carries. Look, he hit this number last week with Tommy Cutlets or whatever you guys call him. He ran 10 times himself, and he still hit this number. So I think Barkley goes over that. Also, Giants are running the ball 15% more with Cutlets in there. So I think they do that. And I took the Giants +6 as soon as this line came out. This is one of my favorite spots in the NFL to fade Derek Carr as a favorite of a field goal or more. If he's a favorite of 3 or more, 9.26 and 2 ATS. Just fade the hell out of this dude when he's the favorite. So yeah, I'm all over the Giants here.
So Saquon Barkley over 15.5 carries, and you're playing the G-men at 5.5. This is a Giants sweep. Giant sweep here.
I took the Giants at 6th earlier in the week.
Yeah,
I love the Giants.
I didn't get on it, but we were talking about it. I think in the Discord that we like the Giants at 6. We missed that. That would be a nice number to have. We are a Giants program today. 55% of our viewers are playing the New York Giants at 5.5. Just 31% laying the 5.5 with the Saints. And the markets responded. Like Toast said, this number was at 6 as recent as Thursday morning. It's been bet down to 5.5. And I see 5s out there. I think the consensus is still 5.5. But, I mean, 5 is kind of a dead number. So that's 5.5, 5, not really much of a difference. But the point is the market is reacting to the Giants' money coming in. Next. All right. Bucks at Packers in Lambeau. Let's bring up Andy first. He's a Packers fan. He owns a Packers camouflage vest, and he wears it like not comically. He thinks it's like
It's a nice vest. I stand by it.
What do you like?
Packers
Wait, hold on, real quick. Weather in Lambeau. Toast, are you with us? Did we lose
This
Toast?
motherfucker.
He got a new router.
It says like it's like it's weird.
All right, we lost the weather. I think the weather's okay in
Man.
Green Bay, though.
From what I saw, the weather was okay as well. The spread is at 3.5 consensus. Caesars actually has it at 4. And then total is 41.5.
Okay, so that was at 42. It's been bet down. All right, poll is running. Cast your votes. All right. Should we believe in your Green Bay Packers here at home as a decent sized favorite here, 3.5?
Yeah, this week I think we should. I have the Packers winning this game by a touchdown. Coming back home after, that was maybe the worst game they played this season, at least since week 3 when they got blown out against Detroit. They were doing all the wrong things. Defense was they were running the wrong type of system, it felt like. They were playing soft coverage when they needed not to, dumb penalties. They did everything they could to lose that game, and it worked. They lost. Now I think they'll come home a little more focused. This is a win and in type playoff spot. If they win, 65% chance to get in the playoff. They lose, 21%. Like, it's a win and you're out, losing you're out, winning you're kind of in type of scenario. I think they'll be focused. Aaron Jones is back. Losing Dylan sucks, but because he had been having a bit of a better run there. I think Jones will come back. Hopefully stays healthy for the whole game. He struggled to do that. I think they come in more focused, less mistakes, and they do enough to win this game by a touchdown. 4-7 type win.
Someone said injury report, Toast router out for the season.
I saw somebody say that the Giants haven't won in New Orleans in 17 years. They won there 2 years ago.
They did. I remember that game.
Yeah, I distinctly remember Danny Jones going into New Orleans and pimping them out.
Okay. All right, Prop Beaver, you have the floor. Do you agree with Andrew's pick?
I think I'm gonna take the Bucks here. Just simply due to the fact that Jordan Love, he is due for a bounce back here. The Bucks pass defense is shit, but Jordan Love is just so much better against man than zone, and this is a very, very zone heavy Bucks defense. On the other side, I don't really trust the Packers defense at all whatsoever. Jair Alexander out yet again. And then you got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, both playing in this ball game. I think that Baker Mayfield is going to be able to use those legs a bit. I'm just really not loving the fact that I have to lay the 3.5 with Green Bay here, who hasn't been quite as good at home, while the Bucks have been much better on the road for some reason this year. I just think the hook is the key part of this year. I think they could keep this within a field goal. So that's why I'm going to take the 3.5 with the Bucks. I don't love this game. I'm not going to bang the table to go bet Tampa here, but yeah, that's my angle.
I'm on Andy's side. I'm on the Pack. To me, this really looks like a nice little buy low, sell high spot. You got the Bucks coming off a win that they did not deserve. Trust me, I had Bucks +2 or +2.5 or whatever it was as a top bet last Sunday. I didn't deserve that win. I got it, did not deserve it. So you got them coming off a win that they probably didn't deserve, and then you got the Packers coming off the ugliest loss of the season. They lost to the Giants. Jordan Love didn't look great. Now they're back at home where they've been good this year. They're 4-2 at home this year. They played well in Lambeau Field. And look, let's not let last week distract us from what we've seen from these teams over the last month. The Packers have been clearly the better team. They've been clearly better than Tampa Bay over the last month. So I'm not going to let 1 week shake me off that. Like, oh, let's change our opinions of this team because the Bucks were able to squeeze out a miracle win against the Falcons when they shouldn't have lost, and the Packers laid an egg in Giant Stadium. I'm not letting that change my view of these teams. The Packers have played well, and the Bucks defense is a mess, man. Vita Vea, doubtful, probably not playing. Carlton Davis is out at corner. Ryan Neal out at safety. These are new injuries, by the way. Both those guys played last week. It looks like they're going to get who's the one corner that's been out for the Bucks? AJ, who's the one?
Jamel Dean.
Jamel Dean. So it looks like they're going to get Jamel Dean back, but they get him back, and then they lose 2 other members of the secondary. Really tough to trust this Bucks defense right now. We've seen the secondary get pieced up plenty of times, so I don't even care that they run zone and Jordan Love has been better against man coverage. I think at home, coming off a really bad game, Jordan Love didn't look great against the Giants, so I think he bounces back, and I think he pieces his secondary up. And like AJ said, I'm sure Baker Mayfield will make some plays against the Packers secondary, but there's something about this Packers defense. I trust it at home. They play much better against the run at home. They've still been vulnerable to the pass here and there, but I'm down to lay the 3.5. This number was at 3 for a lot of this week. They got bought up. They made a statement, books by consensus. They all moved this to 3.5. So they all agreed, even though the action's coming in pretty split. Some pros went in there and bought those Green Bay's -3s up, and books didn't like it. They moved that shit to 3.5. That was a statement move coming off 3. So yeah, I'm go Pack go.
Yeah,
So,
Devin White's also out.
yeah, Devin White's out, but Levante David is back because he was also injured. I think he came back last week though. Yeah. Toast.
I did. I sent this out earlier. I gave out Packers money line, 49ers money line. It came out to 127, and I played it for a full unit. I don't really like Baker on the road at all. He's one of the worst quarterbacks on the road, ATS in general. I just think it's kind of like a little bit of a bounce back spot for Green Bay. I understand that Jordan Love is inconsistent, but at home, I trust him a little bit more. And another thing that stuck out to me when you mentioned that line move, this is only the second time in 14 starts that Jordan Love's a favorite. So not only to have it at 3 and then to move it to 3.5 and knowing that he's only been a favorite 2 of 14 times, the books probably like Green Bay. So I'm going to sit there with that money line and be happy with it.
What is that parlay that you come out to be? San Francisco, Green Bay.
127, minus 127.
Minus 127, yeah. San Francisco, Green Bay, money line parlay, minus 127. Our poll, wow. A lot of people betting the Pack here. Data's showing that the public's pretty split on this one. But our poll, 53% of our viewers said they're down to lay the 3.5 with Green Bay. 35% said they would take the 3 with Tampa. Next. KC at New England. Screamer of a game here. Wow. Points. What's the over-under? 52.5? That's a joke. This sucks.
It's at 39.5.
Oh, it's actually up. It was 37 before, unless I typed it wrong.
Yeah, I know.
All right, consensus line?
Spread is at 9.
Moved up. I got the worst of the number on this one.
There's some possible rain, too, just so you know.
All right. Prop Beaver, what are your thoughts in this one?
My thoughts is this game fucking blows. But but if I have to pick a side here, which I do,
Back Mahomes. You love Patrick Mahomes.
I'm gonna take the Pats, and it makes me violently ill. But I'm gonna do it because I just think that they're gonna hand the ball off 50 times, and this Chiefs rush defense is truly and utterly brutal. I mean, bottom 10 in pretty much every single category in terms of
no Stevenson though. Zeke, is it Zeke day?
Dude, Fat Zeke has been eating lately.
Whoa, Zeke looks, whoa! No need to take a shot at his weight. He looks great.
He looked excellent through the air last week, I must say. He was looking like a rejuvenated man out there. And I think that he's going to be able to run behind this offensive line this week as well, who's pretty much fully healthy at this point. We get a nice Patriots offensive line that's in good shape. We get a Chiefs offense that's just reeling right now. And what I'm really betting on here is the defense from Belichick. Belichick's been getting questions all the past 2 weeks, like, dude, are you going to be here at the end of the season? He's like, I'm just focused on Kansas City. And they're like, do you want to be a coach anymore? I'm just focused on Kansas City. So he's getting questioned about his like coaching tenure here the entire time. This dude's dialed the hell in. He wants to prove all the haters wrong. And I just don't love the matchup for him because what have we seen in terms of our splits of man and zone, Kyle? You probably remember that the fact that Patrick Mahomes, not nearly as potent against man.
He really struggled against man.
Exactly.
I think it's unfair to say he's really struggling against man. His receivers are really struggling to get separation against man.
Yeah, he runs man at the Patriots run man at one of the highest percentages in the league. And then on top of that, I mean, what they're going to do is they're going to double the hell out of Kelsey. What does Belichick do? He takes away that number one option. If they take away Kelsey, I mean, do you really trust these other schmucks to like win the game and cover
in bad weather?
9.5 point spread in this shitty weather? Like, I don't know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, not a great back. He's the lead back on the ground. I mean, Jerick McKinnon, who's averaging 2.9 yards per carry against the Patriots rush defense, that's the best in the league. Like, I don't know. I just think this is way too many points. I'm going to take the points with the Patriots. I'm going to be physically ill when they shit on them later today, but I got to take the points.
Yeah, New England up. But I'm with him. I don't like this one at all. But yeah, you got to take New England at this number. I mean, look, this Patriots team has looked terrible. You want to know the last time the Patriots lost a game by more than a touchdown? Week 8. It's week 15, dude. Like, they're not getting blown out like that. This Patriots team, the last time they lost by more than a touchdown was week 8 against the Dolphins. They lost 31-17 to Miami. Before that, you got to go all the way back to week 5 to find the last time the Patriots lost by a touchdown. This Patriots team looks bad. We're all join hands and laugh at Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones, and it's fun, but they're not getting blown out. This is the best run defense in the NFL. In the last 3 weeks, the Patriots are allowing 2.4 yards per carry. 2.4. This is the best run defense in the NFL, and I don't think it's close. Chiefs don't have Pacheco. Like Prop Beaver said, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's going to establish the run game on the road against the best run defense in the NFL. So basically, we're talking about Patrick Mahomes on the road in possibly bad weather in Foxborough, trying to win and cover this by himself against man coverage, where he hasn't even been that good this year against man coverage. Because basically, like Prop Beaver said, when you're a defense that runs a lot of man coverage, take Kelsey out of it. Go ahead. Let Rashee Rice try to beat Jonathan Jones one-on-one on the outside. Bill Belichick will be like, good, have fun with that. Jonathan Jones is nice out there. This Patriots defense, Bill Belichick is not the same coach that he used to be, but he's still one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. This Patriots defense looks great. I mean, real quick, I already made the point, but just to give an idea what I'm talking about, the Patriots last 7 games, they won by 3, lost by 6, lost by 3, lost by 4, lost by 3. Like, yet they're not getting beat like that. And Patrick Mahomes on the road laying 8.5 when he hasn't even looked good. So yeah, Patriots plus 8.5. It's not one of my top bets or anything, but that's definitely the way I would go. Also, I think we're going to start to see, this is like a statement game for Mahomes, because this is the first time. I've been saying Mahomes is soft forever, but everyone else, he's universally loved. And this is the first time the consensus, the public has kind of been on board with me. Like, yeah, like, because the Josh Allen and the referees, that was funny. Everyone was kind of like, wait a second, is Mahomes like, is he soft? What the hell? He's like throwing a fit out there.
That was a brutal look for him.
Oh, man, I loved it. It was so funny. It's like, I told you guys. And, like, we don't know. I think Mahomes, we haven't seen it yet, but now that his big contract's starting to hit that cap, he's going to be surrounded by less talent moving forward. And I think we're going to see Mahomes in a different role. We don't know what kind of loser Mahomes is. He might be like a sore little crybaby loser. Not hating on Mahomes. I'm just saying we're going to see a different side of him. All right, Andy, what do you think?
I like what you said. He is surrounded by significantly less talent, and he's not dealing with it well. I like the I didn't really like a side in this because there's so many different ways I could see this game going, but the way that I see it going the best is the over-under. I think this goes heavy under. I mean, Patriots games lately, there have not been many points scored. 3 of their last 4 games, I think it went under 20 in each of them. Like, last week didn't. Last week, I think, went barely over the number. This is a Chiefs team that there's just not an offensive juggernaut anymore. They don't have the pieces. Their lead running back is out. Clearly no receivers. Great Patriots defense. They're the Iowa football for the college. They're the Iowa football of the NFL. They're playing great defense. They can't score. I'll take the under in this one. I'm probably going to take the under in a lot of their games. Probably the rest of their games this year.
Someone said Bailey Zappi versus the Chiefs defense. LOL, no mention. Dude, what do you need Zappi to do? The score of the Patriots games, 10-7, 10-6, 6-0. What do you need Bailey Zappi to do? The Patriots scored 3 points. That might be enough to cover this. All right. Toast, are you taking Mahomes? You're a big Mahomes guy.
Yeah, huge Mahomes guy. I did bet the Chiefs. I didn't lay the points, though. I did Chiefs Ravens moneyline parlay at -115. So I just don't think the Chiefs are losing to New England. That's just how I feel. And we can talk about the Ravens later, but I don't have anything else.
-115, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, picking the Chiefs to lose is crazy. I doubt they lose, but you know what? I mean, they are 2-4 in their last 6 games. The Chiefs are 2-4. The Chiefs and Patriots almost have the same record in the last 6 games. So this Chiefs team really hasn't been good. Someone asked if Taylor Swift's at the game, bro. I think he's joking. But there are people out there like, I don't want to place my bet until I know.
Games in New
I
England,
think-
I'd assume she
I
would.
think you gotta give. I think you gotta give the Patriots 3 points if Swift's in attendance.
You see, I don't even know if he's joking anymore because he just blamed
I am
his loss.
joking,
But you just blamed your losses on your new profile picture. You said that, dead serious.
buddy. Buddy, it's called.
That wasn't even the first thing out of
superstition.
his
It's
mouth,
called
to be
changing things up.
It's called
You
changing.
gotta change the vibe. In
You
this
lost
bitch.
bets because you changed your Twitter profile picture. You're looking dead into the camera with a straight face and saying that.
Yeah.
Jesus
Not
Christ.
very confidently. Clearly.
Arizona's a dome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dome.
Line's still 12. This time is bouncing around this morning. I saw 12.5, then I saw 11.5. Not that that's
Yeah,
a
I'm
huge
waiting
difference.
I'm waiting for Odds Jam to load.
A
The
professional would have
servers
already had it
are
open.
so quick. It's at 12 consensus. FanDuel has 11.5. DraftKings has 12.5. Total at
48,
48.
48.5. Okay. All right. All right, Prop Beaver. Any props here? Or are you picking a side?
No, I had a Landon Roberts over 6.5 tackles plus assists yesterday, and that was juice. So I combined it with
Isn't he on the
San
Steelers?
Francisco money line.
Oh, my
Yes.
bad.
I combined it with the San Fran money line to bring it down to minus 101. So I just need the San Francisco 49ers to win this game, which has me
Ooh.
terrified.
49ers
because
money line's a bold call here. That's a bold.
I needed to go bold there. No, I just needed to reduce the juice.
So you have it attached to a
Juice and juice.
You're the pick that it's attached to already hit.
Yes. So I just need San Fran to win. That's all I'm rooting for here. I have no interest in laying 12 points. I have no interest in fucking taking 12 points with Kyler Murray's bum ass, who's like, I think he's 3-13 in his last 16 games at home against the NFC West. Truly horrendous in these spots. So I'm just praying, man. The last 3 times they faced off, the 49ers would beat them by 18 plus each time. So.
And the 49ers are beating everybody. They're beating the shit out of everybody. Look, I'll put
I mean,
mine
with
up.
Samuel and Trent Williams healthy, I think they're averaging like 30 points a game. It's impossible.
I'm on the 49ers, but this is my least favorite pick of the day against the spread. This is actually a great spot for the Cardinals. I'm sorry. You got the Cardinals coming off a bye. The 49ers are missing both defensive tackles. The only thing the Cardinals have done decent this year is run the ball in between the tackles. There's no Hargrave and there's no Eric Armstead. So the 49ers maybe a little. And by the way, this is a 49ers defense where the run defense hasn't been quite the same. They're starting to look all right recently, but the run defense this year as a whole hasn't been quite the same as the 49ers run defense was last year. Last year, you couldn't run the ball for shit on the 49ers. We've seen some teams run the ball on San Francisco this year. So you got the 49ers coming off the wins they've come off. Now they play a shitty Arizona team without both offensive tackles, both defensive tackles. Cardinals are coming off a bye week at home. Like they got this one circled, man. Like this is the game for the Cardinals. Like this is their Super Bowl right here. Their season is over. This is the Cardinals Super Bowl coming off the bye. Planning on running the ball, making it physical. I can't do it because the 49ers just continuously beat the life out of anybody they see. I mean, Kyle Shanahan has built himself a weapon of mass destruction out there. So I would lean San Francisco. Haven't even bet this one yet. I would, if you're on the Cardinals, I love it, man. I love your balls. I wish I had them. I can't do it here. It's a great spot for the Cardinals. There's just no way I can get there. Toast, do you have the stones to take the Cardinals?
No, I played that money line.
Oh, you
parlay
would,
with
yeah. You already told us that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's up to.
But I will say this. I just wanted to mention this. So this is a huge number for the 49ers on the road. Since 2012, they've only had this situation 4 times. Against the Raiders this year, or I'm sorry, in 2023, they were a 10-point favorite. They won by 3. In 2019 against the Cardinals, they were a 10-point favorite. They won by 3. In 2019, they were a 10-point favorite to the Redskins/Commanders, only won by 9. And then they won by 5 against the Rams in 2012. So this hasn't really been a successful spot for them. And then Purdy on the road, only a 500 ATS quarterback. So nothing special there.
Yeah, San Francisco is a road favorite. That's the spot to fade this 49ers team. But then you just take a look. They beat the Eagles 42-19 in Philly. They beat the Seahawks 31-13 in Seattle. They beat the Jags 34-3 in Jacksonville. That's their last 3 road games. So it's like, how do you take 12 with the Cardinals when they're going against good teams? They're going against playoff teams and beat them by 30 points on the road. So that trend scares me. I don't think I can do it. You still with me, Toast? All right.
Yeah, I'm here.
Andrew, do you have the stones to take the Cardinals?
No. You said it perfect. They're beating the piss out of teams, and they're beating the piss out of good teams. Like this is a game where maybe they start slow, and I think they started slow last week, if I'm not mistaken. They were losing at halftime, maybe to Seattle, but yeah, they could start slow all they want. They are a team that can score 21 points in a blink of an eye. They are quick possessions, 60-yard passes to Debo, like that. Yeah, they're going to beat up on a lot of the teams they play the rest of the year because I believe they have a really easy schedule.
But my question is, why is this line 12? Because you got to know, the odds makers have to know that everyone's going to bet the 49ers at this number. So why is this number 12? Why is it not 14.5? Why is it not 16.5? Why is this number 12? This team is going and beating Jacksonville, Philly, Seattle.
It came down, right?
Yeah, I saw it at 11.5 this morning. What am I missing here? Like, there are pros out there taking the Cardinals. I saw it. Maybe they love that. Maybe they love the Cardinals coming off a bye. Maybe they like that angle. I would need 17.5. I would need 17.5 to take the Cardinals here. But I like the Cardinals in the spot. But this 49ers team's on a different level. Wow. 30% of our viewers said they are down to take the Cardinals plus 12. We have ourselves a sharp crowd, sharper than I. 53% said they're laying the 12 with the 49ers, 9% over. Next. Washington at the Rams.
Wait, so did the Cardinals win that poll?
Yeah, no. 49ers did. It was surprised. It was closer than I thought.
Okay.
Is this line still 6.5, prop here?
6.5 and 49.
All right, Prop Beaver, what are you taking? Is Aaron Donald's status still up in the air? Let me check. It was questionable this morning.
I have no clue, to be honest with you.
Questionable. Still questionable. Is expected to play. All right, so it looks like Aaron Donald is going to play.
I took Sam Howell over 261.5 passing yards. I'm buying low on him after his absolute stinker against Miami. Miami's pass defense has stepped up in a major way the past few weeks, especially with Jalen Ramsey active. This LA pass defense is mediocre in terms of surface stats, but bottom 10 in DVOA. Howell, 6-2 to the over against teams in the bottom 10 in DVOA pass-wise, averaging 295 yards per game. He's also much better on the road. That's just a trend with Washington in general offensively. Going back years now, they just perform better on the road, averaging 275 in these spots. Rams have allowed the last 8 of 9 QBs to face them over their pass yards total. And his completions totals at 25.5 juiced over. With 23-plus completions this year, he's 7-1 to the over, averaging 320 yards per game. This Commanders defense has hit rock bottom without Chase Young and without Montez Sweat. They've allowed 28-plus points in 4 straights. Stafford's well-equipped to smoke this offense, and Howell will likely need to pass his ass off to keep this one close. Without their workhorse back and Brian Robinson, I think this puts an even bigger potential workload on Howell. Game total is at 49.5, so I think they're going to have to shoot their way into this one to keep it close, and I think they're able to do that. I actually kind of like the Commanders here, so I'm going to take Howell over pass yards.
Andrew?
Yeah, I think I said out shootout before. That was the phrase I used for the Titans.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, this is the game. The Rams are going to out shootout them, but I think it'll be close. I think this will be like a 3-4 point game. So I like the Commanders in this one. This will be a long game because they're both going to be passing it a lot. Neither team has a really strong running game. It's crazy with how many attempts Howell has this year. I think he's still the league leader in passing yards, if I'm not mistaken. And it's 51 attempts, like a lot of attempts in these games. So I think the over might still hit, and even though it's a high number. Like when I did that, the effects this week, I saw 50.5, and I was like, "What is this, a college game?" But no, these are just teams that are just going to score a lot. So I like the over, but I like Washington.
Yo, I thought I was going to be on an island, and I know everyone's going to hate this pick. But tell me, this is just a great buy low spot for the Washington Commanders. If Aaron Donald wasn't going to play, and when I first place my bets last night late, he was still up in the air. And he missed a couple practices, so it was like, wow, Aaron Donald might not play. I thought the Commanders were going to be live. I thought they could win. I still think they could win. I mean, this reminds me a lot of the Seattle game. Look, the Commanders' value is at an all-time low. They got blown out in back-to-back games. It was against Dallas and Miami, two offenses that could just run the score up on you. Not that, and the Rams' offense has looked pretty good. But hold on, let me pull it up. I had I switched off my page to go check Aaron Donald's injury status because I wanted to see that.
Their last 5 games, Commanders have been tough. On the road at New England, on the road at Seattle.
That's what it reminds me of the Seattle game.
All those are solid defenses.
Right. They went on the road in Seattle. The Seahawks were like 5.5, 6-point favorites. I had Seattle. I laid the points. Washington probably should have won that game. Howell went toe-to-toe with the Seahawks in Seattle, a tougher place to play than SoFi. Seahawks defense is better than the Rams. I don't care what the numbers show this year. That Seahawks defense is loaded with talent. They've underperformed a little, but they're better than the Rams defense. I think Washington's going to go toe-to-toe with this Rams offense. I also like the over, like Andy says. I know everyone's going to hate this pick. I think Washington can win this game. If you're looking to play like a crazy, like not just like a plus 130 dog, if you really want to take a shot with the dog, I would say Washington Commanders have a shot to win. So yeah, I'm taking the 6.5. Not one of my top bets, but I bet it. I put some money on this, so I'm invested on Washington plus 6.5. Clearly, odds makers agree with me because Rams minus 6.5 is one of the most public plays on the board this week, and our poll agrees with that. And by the way, also 57% of our viewers are laying the 6.5 with the Rams. Just 24% said they would take the 6.5. And this is my pick for. I've hit 2 of these in a row. Not that, like, this is not that means this is a good bet. But Washington's my pick to score a defensive or special teams touchdown this week. It's at plus 800. I hit the Eagles, and then before that I forget what it was before that. I think the Dolphins. No, it's the Dolphins. It was the Dolphins.
Then you had
No. I took the Dolphins in the. I forget which game it was, but I had the Dolphins defense to score, and then I took the Eagles defense to score in the Dallas game. They got killed, but the defense scored. I think Washington's defense is the one to score. Going for 3 in a row here. Toast? And I think Matt Stafford gets caught lacking a little bit and throws a pick 6. That's how I think it happens. Go ahead.
I feel the same way as you. I can't really add anything. I looked at their schedule and I saw, like you said, Miami and Dallas. Okay. On the road at Seattle, that's flying across the country for them. And then on the road at New England, one of the best defenses in the NFL. It's just a really tough schedule. So, yeah, I took the points with Washington as well. Cherry on top of the Rams. Everybody in the world's on the Rams today. So, it just made it a little bit easier.
Wow. I thought I was going to be an island. This is a Washington program. We're a Washington Commanders program today. Let's go Commanders.
I mean, the look-ahead line was like +1
I know.
at one point. So, it's not like,
That's what I'm saying.
It's not
6.5.
Yeah.
Y'all really think the Rams are that good? They are definitely better with Kyron Williams on the field. The offense runs a lot smoother, but still, 6.5. Dallas at Buffalo. Probably the best game.
Buffalo's free, right?
I didn't say. I never said anything like that.
I didn't say you did. I'm just saying that's all I hear all week.
Yeah.
It's all I've heard.
Because
it
offended you as a Cowboys fan. Can I get the weather in Buffalo, please?
Yes, let me pull it up really quick. It's as it's loading. Likely rain, 48 degrees, 15 mile an hour. It's coming out of the south.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Are we at 2, 1.5? What are we doing here?
That 2 and the totals at 49.
49. All right. Poll is running. Prop Beaver. Wow, someone just says Prop Beaver loves Dak Prescott. Is that true?
He fucked me last week. Couldn't get me that 3rd touchdown.
Like the good way or the bad way?
Depends on what your definition of good and bad is there. He fucked me in the bad way.
I still don't know which way.
Yeah, exactly. He fucked me sideways, and it was terrible.
What's your pick, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really love this game at all.
It's the best game of the week. Make a pick.
That's dope. I'll take the Cowboys with the 2.5.
We'll take the Cowboys with the 2.5. Bad pick.
Everybody and their moms on Buffalo. All the so-called Twitter are on Buffalo.
Really? I wouldn't know because I don't follow those.
And our Discord. And our Discord.
Oh, I'm with them, Cowboys. Cowboys too. I think Buffalo coming off a high on that, going back home. This is a letdown for them. Dallas is also coming off a high, but I think they're just that good this year. They're just on fire. So Dallas.
Yeah, they're on fire at home. They're on fire at home. Have we forgotten?
Dak Prescott's last 2 road games at Carolina and at Philadelphia were excellent too.
Oh man! Oh, they beat the Panthers. That's crazy. That is crazy. They beat the Panthers. And you want to know what happened in the Eagles game? They lost. And that's what we're betting on here. We're not betting on how Dak Prescott's box score is going to look. This isn't fantasy. Taking the Bills -2 here. This is a perfect spot to fade Dallas. You got them coming off. As we know, that both Dak Prescott and the Cowboys defense has been excellent at home this year. Been excellent at home. Dak Prescott's been the best quarterback in the NFL at home. Cowboys defense has been the best defense in the NFL at home. They've played 3 straight home games. And it's kind of like the Panthers that have played 3 straight road games. You can catch value with that. People are talking about this Cowboys team. Put them on the same pedestal as the 49ers, and rightfully so. I mean, they've looked awesome. But again, they played 3 straight home games where they've been dominant all year. Now they're on the road in potentially some bad weather. Not really the spot I like to trust Dak Prescott. Bills defense is going to be without Micah Hyde, which hurts, but they're playing for their season here. Bills season is on the line. They need this one. They're 7-6. They need to win this one. In fact, if they win this one, I think they end up winning the AFC East, which I bet, because I think they'll beat the Dolphins at the end of the year. So yeah, I like Buffalo. Keep in mind, Dallas is 10-3. They're just 3-3 on the road. They're playing 500 football on the road. So yeah, I'm fading the boys. Give me the Buffalo Bills. Toast. All right, you like Dak Prescott and the Cowboys? Toast the Cowboys fan. He's a homer.
No, I didn't bet it because I tailed your Buffalo bet earlier in the week to win the freaking AFC East. So I'm not going to play both sides of it. But I also don't really love the spot for Buffalo. I understand they're coming at home, but after games after Philadelphia and Kansas City, I mean, that's as much of a letdown to me as 3 straight home games and then going on a road.
It's not a letdown when they're playing for their season.
It's a toss-up game for me. Okay. Dallas is playing for the AFC.
I'm putting Dallas up. You clearly like Dallas. I'm putting Dallas up.
You can put Coward. You can put Coward.
No,
or
I'm
you
putting
can put
Dallas.
Dallas.
You like Dallas. You're just afraid to say it. Well, our poll.
I would like my bank account would like Buffalo.
So our poll pretty split even. Actually, Cowboys won the poll. 45% of you said you would take the 2 with Dallas. 43% said you would lay the 2 to Buffalo. So pretty much split. Slight win for the Cowboys there. Last game. All right. Let's see what we got here. And it is Sunday Night Football. Baltimore Ravens on the road in Jacksonville. This line's 3.5 now, but I think you could still get juice 3s around. Let's run the poll. Oh, actually, real quick, weather.
Hold on. Yeah, slight chance of rain, but 21-mile-an-hour winds out of the northwest.
21 miles an hour. That's windy. Is 3 or 3.5? What are we dealing with here, properly?
3.5, 40.5.
I do not like that wind. Do not like it. All right, Prop Beaver, what are you doing here?
This is pretty simple. I'm just going to fade the team that I've been saying is fraudulent the entire year. I'm going to take the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson's going to be able to pass the ball regardless of these fucking mysterious winds that are 20-plus miles per hour.
Mysterious? What's mysterious about the wind, dude?
How powerful they are.
These mysterious winds.
The
winds of Narnia.
The Jaguars' pass defense has gone to complete and utter shit. I mean, they're getting cooked weekly. Joe Flacco was just made out to look like an all-pro last week with a team he's played 2 games with. I mean, I'm just not seeing it. Even the rush defense is starting to show some weakness on this Jacksonville front, and I just think that the added element of Lamar's legs along with that of Keaton Mitchell and Gus Edwards is going to be too much for them to stop. And then on the other side, I mean, Trevor Lawrence did not look like himself last week. Turnover-worthy plays were popping out of the ass over there. And I just think that those could continue tonight against a tough Ravens defense that their only real weakness, as you're probably going to go ahead and say, is stopping the run. And Travis Etienne has averaged over 4 yards per carry once in his last 8 games, has been a complete and utter non-factor as of late. And I think that continues tonight. So I'll lay the points with the Ravens. They're great in prime time. Give me the dirty flock.
Toast, I have a graphic here for your prop the Shakir over 23.5 receiving yards. We forgot to say that. Toast likes this.
I know.
He was too busy trying to defend his Cowboys. Forgot about his.
No, I wasn't too busy trying to defend them. It was just.
I'm on the Ravens too, and
I'm
on the Ravens as well, and I got in at 3. Not really much to add there. And look, matchup wise, I don't even love it for Baltimore. Jacksonville can stop the run. As we know, Baltimore, Lamar Jackson hasn't been quite as good without Mark Andrews on the field. Mark Andrews helps him out a lot. He uses it as a safety blanket. Hasn't been the greatest throwing the ball downfield, even though he did hit Odell Beckham on a couple last game. But matchup-wise, Jacksonville's probably the play, but I just don't like to make a habit of fading John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson in these primetime games because their record, I don't have it written down, but I just know it offhand, that John Harbaugh with the Ravens in primetime is insane. It's like 13-2 or something. He always wins. They always come through in these primetime games. And like Prop Beaver said, the Jacksonville secondary, yeah, maybe it's going to be windy, and Lamar Jackson, maybe he's not able to get the ball downfield, but those little quick hits, the Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham, I mean, this offense is going to move the ball. And look, and then on the other side of the ball, like Prop Beaver said, I'm down to fade this Ravens team, but 1, not on primetime, and 2, it needs to be a team with a physical rushing attack. Like we saw Cleveland do to Baltimore, and they played them in a close game. Actually, they beat them. Jacksonville is not that. Not only can they not run the ball, they can't run the ball between the tackles. So that's how you beat this Ravens team, is you come out and just smash them in the face, pound the ball between the tackles. Jacksonville's not the team to do that. They're very reliant on Trevor Lawrence and getting the ball outside to their playmakers. Baltimore is the best pass defense in the NFL. So on that side of the ball, I love the matchup for the Ravens. Don't love the matchup for the Ravens offense, but I trust Harbaugh in primetime. And I also take the under. It's a primetime game. We know unders have paid out this year. With the wind, I don't think either team, Ravens, I can see the final score of this game, 24-6 Ravens. I'm thinking low scoring. I really like the matchup for the Ravens defense. So give me Baltimore. Andy?
I'm also on Baltimore. I like the reasons you guys said, the bad pass defense for Jacksonville. I actually have a prop of this one. I know we don't have the thing up, but I have Isaiah Likely over 32.5 receiving yards in both games since being the full-time starter. I just think it's Lamar liking tight ends. He had 40 yards in the first game, and he had 83 last week against LA. This time, I think he just likes going to tight ends. I think he goes to Isaiah Likely a lot. So, yeah.
All right. Toast. You there? Someone goes, Jags only scoring 3 points at home, LOL. They're second, 2 home.
If you know me, you already know what the bet is. Ravens first quarter minus a half a point at plus 120. Damn.
I think Toast is like kind of frozen. He's like 20-second delayed. But all right. Toast is on the Ravens. Ravens first quarter, he said. If you haven't been watching the show, he always bets that. Ravens first quarter. And someone said the Jags only being held to 3 points at home, LOL. The Jags got beat 34-3 at home. To what, 2 home games ago? 3 home games ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm on the Ravens. Let's do a community teaser and get out of her. I need to start unpacking some boxes. House is a mess. All right. By the way, community's red hot. We are coming off a win. That's right. Red hot, the community. Let's post up another one.
You're muted, Prop Beaver. I know you were talking.
That's a complete and utter rarity, a community win.
The community's
hot.
I
love to see it.
The community is scorching hot. Scorching hot coming off a win last week. So let's chalk up a second one. 2 in a row for the community. First game, Bears at Browns. Didn't Bears win that poll? I believe it was close. Toast, did Bears win the poll?
The Bears won it. Bears won the poll, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can. I think I can hear you. It's just the broadcast a little up. Panthers or Falcons? Falcons won. Falcons plus 3. Jets, Dolphins.
Underdog.
Jets.
Okay, I'll get to the underdog. Texans at Titans, definitely Titans. All right. Polls running for the first one. Let me go get Prop Beaver's underdog. All right, looking like the Bears +9 is going to be our first pick here. In another few seconds. Yeah, the Bears +9 is the first leg. All right, next up. So Giants at Saints. Who won that poll? Giants definitely did. I remember. Giants +12. Bucks at Packers. Who won that poll?
Packers.
So Packers +2.5. Chiefs at Patriots was definitely Chiefs. So Chiefs -3.5. 49ers, Cardinals, definitely 49ers. 49ers -6.5. All right, second leg. All right, looking like the Giants or Chiefs are going to take this second leg. Give it a few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 33% Giants get it. So Giants +12 is the second one. 2 dogs to start the teaser. Third leg, we got Commanders, Rams. They like the Rams, so Rams -0.5. Cowboys, Bills. Cowboys won that, right? Yeah. But it was close. Cowboys +8. Ravens, Jags. Ravens +2.5. And let's just run those 3, right? Yeah, because that's the end of it. So third leg. And then next, 49ers, Falcons. Looking like the Cowboys. Wow, this is a close one. I got to give it a few more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end poll. And the winner is the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys +8. 3 dogs on the teaser today.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
And then the second place finishers were Falcons +3 came in second. 49ers -6.5. Chiefs were close too. We'll put them in this one. Chiefs -3.5. And then the second place was Ravens +2.5. All right, what's the last leg of this teaser? Cast your votes. Patriots went from 8.5 to 10.5 during this show. Late action on the Chiefs, maybe? I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Unless there's an injury. I mean, I don't have Twitter open or anything unless there's an injury. But who would on the Patriots would even get hurt to move the line? Was Ramondre Stevenson ruled out? I thought he was already ruled out. Zappy, but I mean, like, is Mac Jones 2 points worse? Yeah, like. All right, so it's 49ers. 49ers is the last. So, we do have Prop Beavers Underdog, too. So
I think I know what the line was.
Why?
Taylor Swift is there.
Shut up.
I'm not even kidding. Maybe it did it. Hey, maybe it did it.
If the line
Just
moves
saying.
2 points because of Taylor Swift, I've lost faith in the market.
I honestly wouldn't even surprise me with
Wouldn't
this industry
surprise
right
me
now.
either.
Wow.
Not even for a second.
People need to check themselves into a clinic, man. Community teaser: Bears +9, Giants +12, Cowboys +8, 49ers -6.5. All right, let's bring up Prop Beavers Underdog. Is this a can't miss lock?
Bro, no. I just need to get some greens on the board. Shut your mouth. We got the Jerome Ford play over the receiving yards. Great spot. Love it. DeAndre Hopkins already went through it. Smash spot, revenge spot. Love it. Frankie Louvu, guy's a fucking beast at home. Smash spot as well in the rain game. And then Sam Howell over passing yards. I got to say, I'm a little annoyed that the total moved down in the Rams game. Very weird, but still think Sam Howell could get those passing yards for us.
All right. And if you don't have an Underdog account, it's available in any state highlighted here on this map. So if you're in one of these states highlighted in yellow, you could go to the Underdog Fantasy, the website, or download the app. Use the promo code BET, B-E-T. That'll get you your deposit bonus match. So you deposit $100, they'll give you a free $100 to play with. Everyone, enjoy your Sunday. Remember to bet responsibly. I think I'm going to upload a Monday Night Football video tonight. I'm set up in the new house. As you can see, there's no green screen yet, so it won't be as high quality as my videos normally are. But I think I'll get something up later. So everyone, enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for watching as always. And when I'll talk to you guys late tonight. I'll probably upload that or tomorrow morning. Have a good one.